In just a little while, the Renys are going to join me up here on the podium for a little conversation about family business, about social responsibility and values. And who knows all of that better than the Reny family? I know you guys are all singing the song in the back of your head. Come on, Renys! That's how you know it works, right? My favorite, though, was Thaddeus. Do you guys remember Thaddeus? The guy who was like rocking and rolling, that one? Yeah. He worked in the store, too. I came in, I was like, Thaddeus! Anyway, love that whole campaign, so fun. First, though, before we do our little conversation, we thought we'd have a Bill Green's Maine piece run for you, just to introduce the Reny family.
Since 1949, people have been walking into Reny's looking for good clothes at a fair price. Over those 65 years or so, the organization has grown into 16 stores and perhaps, most important, almost 600 employees. Bob Reny says the family knows what it's doing, even if the experts in the industry don't quite understand.
We were setting up a new store, and I'm saying, yep, we're going to put the work clothes here, shoe department's here, the men's fashion department's here, and she looked at me and said, the men's fashion department? You mean plaid? You know.
Maybe plaid is at the heart of their style, but relationships are at the heart of the business. Bob's father, R.H., who passed away in 2009, had to go door to door that first winter selling clothes out of his Hudson automobile. He made enough money for the business to survive and enough friends that he could grow the business. This is John Reny.
And that's so important, you know, today, when you get a deal, you can pick up the phone and probably sell it any place. Who's going to get that first call? The guy you don't like or the guy you like? And most of the time we're the guys that they like, as I think Bob alluded to earlier, and whoever gets the first call is probably going to take it, and it's gone. So that's so important, getting good merchandise at good prices.
David Porter of New Hampshire dropped by on a business trip to the coast of Maine.
But I really enjoy this place, and you know, you don't have to spend a lot of money to get really good quality or neat clothing. And that's why I come by here. There's always something different, always something neat here.
Really?
I like a deal.
Which is what Reny's tries to be all about. When they make a buy, and that's all the time, it comes here to their warehouse in Newcastle. Each day, stock is gathered to go to each of its 16 stores from Wells to Ellsworth. It's an impressive operation, and each Reny knows each employee and a lot of their kids by name.
I mean, he just had a knee replaced. I mean, you know, and that's what your health insurance is for, and you're glad to have it for him, actually, to be honest with you. I mean, I know it's a big expense and all that stuff, but that's what it's supposed to be there for, all that kind of stuff. And people have babies and families, you know, they've worked for you for years. In some of our stores, we haven't had new help in 10, 15 years.
It's impressive how stuff comes and goes. I soon got to wondering if the organization was more sophisticated than I thought. Stores are generally located right in the middle of downtowns, and the Renys try to be involved in each community, and each Reny's is unique.
Most of our stores are different, not by design, just because of where they are and the property and downtowns or in the shopping center, wherever. And also, we try to be extremely friendly. Our help is very, very friendly to the customers, and we insist upon that, and we also try to have enough help in the stores to help people when they come in.
Bob's wife, Mary Kay, calls the coastal stores the pearls on a string because here there are two Christmases, Christmas and the tourist season. An example of how the stores are unique can be seen in the underground in Damariscotta. They expanded it to include a soda fountain that used to be in the drugstore next door. Who knew you keep ice cream at 25 degrees? Mary Kay says the family is always learning and simply carrying on RH's love of the business.
You know, my father-in-law was so excited about being downtown and kissing hands of all of his favorite customers and all of that. Yep. And part of his magic to me was how contagious his love of his job was. And he insisted that we be a big player and anchor in all the towns that we're in.
Now the third generation is getting ready to take over. Bob's son Adam and John's daughter Faustine are preparing to shoulder most of the load. I asked Faustine how she learned how important her family was to the community.
I remember we got a closeout on clothes, and there were two different colors of this sweatshirt, and there was a green and a red, and every single person pretty much in the high school had one. Girls, it was a girls' junior's top. I had one, but all of our friends, and so on any given day there'd be 20 people wearing the same shirt, the same jeans and stuff, and that was kind of when I realized what it was all about.
Early bird. Don't forget the early bird.
When you can get a customer to talk about you, they become a champion of your product. Reny's uses that concept in its advertising produced by News Center's production team. Bob's son Adam says their customers make the concept easier.
It's really not that hard to find people to do that. I mean, working in the stores, you know, every second you turn around, there's someone who's championing the store for sure. Yeah. Everyone really loves it, so it's not hard to find at all.
The Renys are doing it their own way in an outrageously competitive marketplace. They think they get by because they've built up customer trust down through the years.
If they compare and they really know what's going on, they can trust us. And a lot of people don't compare anymore. It's too hard. How are you going to keep track of how much that sweater costs? It's impossible. So it could be an $80 sweater, it could be a $20 sweater. You just don't know unless you're in the business.
Reny's is a store that offers a lot of value in a constantly changing environment. It really is the Maine adventure.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the president of the company, John Reny, Chief Operations Officer, Faustine Reny, and Vice President of Purchasing and Development, Adam Reny. Thanks for coming tonight. This is exciting.
Well, thank you.
So talk to me. How did each of you wind up in the family business?
Well, when I got out of college, I was hopefully being a rock and roll star.
Oh yeah.
Didn't happen. And I was working for my dad doing some maintenance stuff, and the store in Bath lost a manager, and he said, "Why don't you go over there for a couple weeks and, you know, straighten things out a little bit?"
Right.
And I've been there ever since.
You were hooked.
So I was hooked, exactly.
Faustine, how about you?
I actually have always said I was going to come back to the family business, so I did my graduate program and stuff and kind of stayed away from Maine a little bit and moved back and haven't looked back since.
That's the way it happens.
Yeah.
Love that. How about you, Adam?
Well, actually, when I came back on, Faustine had to remind me that in my yearbook, I said, I never want to work at Reny's. So I was complete opposite.
Did you really
so
put that in your yearbook?
Yeah, I did actually. I don't remember why, and I don't remember I did it.
I'm gonna plaster it everywhere someday.
What was it like to grow up though in the family business?
It was great. I have one memory that I always think of Christmas time. Christmas Eve, my dad, after the doors closed, we would go down, unlock the doors, do our Christmas shopping. And then we would go home, and then he would go back, and he'd shop for the three of us and our two other brothers.
That makes it so easy.
But we all ended up getting the same thing, because we each wrapped each other's presents, and at the end of it, there were 3 circles. We ended up each getting 3 basketballs, 3 of the same size box there. And then we'd end up wearing, you know, the same thing to every family event. We'd all have the same Carhartts on and all that stuff. So
but Faustine, did you grow up in the store? Were you helping as a kid?
We did. I remember getting paid by Polly Pockets or Barbies when I first started. I think my first job was, we used to think it was the coolest thing in the world to be out in the warehouse. You know, this was before labor laws and anything like that.
Yeah,
obviously, no one. And pricing glasses, the $2.99, the $1.99 glasses, we thought was the best thing in the world. Running the cash register, they trusted us at a young age.
And your pop was obviously putting you to work.
Exactly.
Obviously. So what are some of the challenges that you had as a second-generation family business owner?
Well, you know, any of you who know my dad, Bob Reny, he was a really smart guy, a really great businessman. He wasn't really a great teacher. It just, you did it, and you got it done, you figured it out, and you got it right, or you got yelled at. So my brother Bob and I figured it out, got it done, and whatever we had to do, you did. If you had to drive a truck, you drove a truck. If you had to sweep the floor, you swept the floor. If you had to run the store, you ran the store. Whatever it was, you just had to do it.
Did you change that philosophy in passing the reins down?
Yeah. You know...
Kicking and screaming, maybe a little bit.
Well, yeah, you know, these days, actually, we've had a very good vehicle of the family council that we've been working on for the last 3 or 4 years, where we all get together and we talk. And there was none of this stuff with my dad. You just did it. So, I mean, it's been very good, because it lets the kids say what they think, lets us say what we think. We all like each other, which is a good thing. but you never have time to sit down until somebody makes you sit down and talk about what are you doing, what do you want to do, you know, where are you going, you know, so it was a good thing.
And what about challenges of the third generation, Adam?
Well, some of that stuff that RH did pass down to us. There wasn't much of a training program. After 2 months of coming back with the company, I happened to be manager of the Camden store.
Okay.
And I had no idea what I was doing. I learned a lot, but a lot of it is just go and do it. It was kind of the same thing. You kind of had to figure it out, but they really had your support. There was no yelling. There was no, you did this wrong. So that was definitely good.
Transition can be hard for anybody, especially within families. Is there something that you did to make those transitions generation to generation a little smoother? Any one thing that stands out to you?
Well, I think in our generation it just happened, and it had to happen because of necessity, and it did, and it worked out fine. My brother and I ran the business for years. I think they're just going back to having somebody help counsel you who knew other businesses and the problems they had, et cetera, and actually getting everybody to sit down together and talk, which is a very valuable thing, except you're too busy unless somebody says, okay, at 1 o'clock, you're there. We got you for 2 hours, we're going to talk about stuff. So I think that has really helped.
Tremendously successful business. You've got stores all over Maine, 600 plus employees. To what do you attribute that kind of growth? I
guess I'm the president, so I'm supposed to know this stuff, you know. You know, I mean,
you just do it.
You just do it,
right.
yeah. But you know, we really care about our customers. We care about our employees. We care about each other. So it's a win-win situation that you just have to do it right because that's what you want to do. It's not saying, hey, we're gonna, you know. My dad always said, if you buy something right, you sell it right. Don't try to make the extra buck, you know, do a good deal for your customers, and they'll remember that. And they'll come back because they know you got a good deal. And I think that has really just shepherded us into a very successful situation.
And last question from me anyway, but what is it that, besides really easy Christmas shopping, that you love about what you do?
I love being in the stores and interacting with our customers. I mean, I used to be in the music business, and it's hard to like convince everyone that that all sounds good, you know, when you're doing sound or something like that. But when you hand someone some Smartwool socks, and it's at the price it is, you're confident that they're going to be happy with that product. And the smile on their face is always the best thing. Make them happy. That's what's important.
Excellent. So we want to open it up to the audience. Does anybody have any questions for the Renys? I got to put my glasses on to be able to see anybody, but anyway. Anybody? Oh. Thoughts? Share stories? Nobody? Okay. The salads sound really good.
Yeah. Well, I'd just like to say one thing that really makes me happy about the business is when you find a great deal.
Oh,
when you find a great deal.
There's nothing quite like that feeling.
And since I have the floor,
we have a deal.
We got a deal. National Geographic used to have stores in malls, and they've closed them. And we bought all the stuff they had left in their distribution center. Yeah. I mean, great stuff. Name brands. I mean, just beautiful clothing, gift items and stuff like that. There's almost a $2 million deal at retail. And it's in 8 of our stores right now. So please visit all 8 Reny stores that have it in there. I'm sorry it's not in Portland, but thank you. Thank you. It's good.
And now we know. Yeah. Now we know. Thank you, guys. What were you going to say?
I just wanted to say something. Fossey and I have been coming to this event for 4 years, and every time we come, dessert is on the table.
Yeah.
Now, this is great because RH had a really good saying that life is uncertain, eat dessert first.
Yeah.
So whenever we come here, we have dessert and we take a picture before we do anything else.
Oh, that's
it's great. And I know he's watching up there and he loves it. So
that's perfect. That's perfect. Thank you, guys.